No diving, no snorkeling, and poor listening were all restrictions that I faced in my daily life. Restrictions that I never knew I had up until 2 years ago when I was diagnosed with tympanic membrane perforation, simply meaning that I had a hole in my eardrum. Growing up in California meant that a lot of time was being spent at the pools and the lakes. Unfortunately for me, these are the two places that I feared the most as a child because of the constant problems I would have with my ear. A problem that caused me great pain and faint hearing. The obstacles of not being able to get water into my ear and having poor hearing were all problems that I faced before receiving a proper medical diagnosis followed by a surgical procedure, changing my life. My story started when I was 5 years old, and my older brother ruptured my eardrum. Of course, at the time, we did not know that my eardrum was ruptured. So being a silly child, I decided to stick something that should be used to just clean your ears inside my ear as a joke, just to be fun. Now, I'm not going to stick it in my ear now because I do not want the same incidents reoccurring. But I put it inside my ear and I started running around the house, trying to be silly, trying to make everyone laugh. Unfortunately, my brother also wanted to be silly, and he decided to come with a thick woolen blanket and put it over my head. So he went just like that. He put it over my head. Now the weight and the heaviness of the blanket caused the pressure to move the Q-tip further into my ear canal, rupturing my eardrum, causing a hole inside my ear. I started crying and complaining right after. And being a concerned parent, like any parent should, my mom called the pediatrician. The pediatrician replied by saying, "If the pain continues, go to the emergency room." The pain stopped for me, but eventually it came back when I started getting water inside my ear. We went to see the pediatrician, but she did not detect the hole, and so it was not made of any importance. Years had passed, and every time I would approach water, I would approach with such caution because I had such anxiety and fear of getting water inside my ear. Everyone always assumed that I had swimmer's ear, so I relied on earplugs, silicone earplugs like these. I would put them inside my ear and clog it so water would not get inside. I could not go underwater or jump into the water with the rest of my friends. I never got to enjoy summer like everyone else. Not only was my ear problem painful, but it also caused me to lose partial hearing. Hearing contributes to the auditory perception of the world around us. Right now I can hear my voice, I can hear the fans. Unfortunately, I lost that partial hearing when I was a child, so I grew up thinking that my hearing was normal. I accommodated my partial hearing by not sitting in the back of the classroom, sitting in the front of the classroom so I can hear the teacher. And I never thought twice about these accommodations. Until now. The day finally came when I decided to go see an ear specialist. And from there I was properly diagnosed with tympanic membrane perforation. The ruptured hole in my eardrum had caused me to lose my hearing, as well as cause extreme pain whenever I would get any sort of liquid inside of my ear. A ruptured eardrum that had happened from my childhood, the doctor said, should have been addressed right away with immediate surgery. However, that did not happen, but that was going to happen now. I received my surgery. The ability to go underwater and freely approach water was within my reach. Although the recovery process was long, the end result was a success. My hole was closed and my hearing improved. In closing, an operation that can be terrifying for others was the greatest for me. My pain was removed and my hearing was restored, all with a simple procedure that closed the hole inside my ear. After almost 10 years of having to avoid water and adjust to poor hearing, my ear finally got properly fixed. Something that I never knew I had drastically changed my life. And standing here today, I can say that every event in my life that occurred gave me a greater appreciation for hearing and water. Thank you.